still watching Lunch Money this Friday afternoon. Now, it has been a double-edged sword for the real estate industry as the pile of unsold inventory is rising as customers keep their hands off due to the soaring prices. Now, with over 65% of residential houses costing over 1 crore in a city like Mumbai, we're looking at some problems.
That's right, Fatima. Those of us who live in Mumbai feel that pain on a regular basis. But when will this vicious pricing cycle end, and what's led to the unrealistic rise in costs? Let's discuss this and more. We're being joined by Niranjan Hiranandani. He's, of course, the co-founder and MD of the Hirandani Group. Good afternoon, Mr. Hirandani. Thank you for joining us on Lunch Money. First up, just want to get your perspective with regards to how is demand panning out versus supply in the realty sector.
I think the overall interest in the market has gone up leaps and bounds. A lot of people are interested to now buy apartments. The GDP of the country is moving up. Salaries have moved up now in the last couple of weeks in terms of the turn. The 7th pay commission unfortunately has not been given. All in all, we do see an increase in demand that is taking place in the market. And Joe, today there is a lot of unsold stock still available in the market because the pace of construction is pretty slow. I think the prices are in fact going to go up suddenly, and this is going to be seen because productivity is actually reduced.
Mr. Hiranandani, unsold inventory in real estate has increased by 31% in MMR and Greater Mumbai. So by when do you really see the inventory exhausted?
Actually, you know, if you really go into the details of this inventory, which is considered to be unsold, there is hardly any finished building which is unsold. So finished unsold product is almost zero, barring a few exceptions in a couple of buildings where people are not confident of the builder or the product. But if you see, unsold inventory is more under construction because the time taken for getting the approvals, further approvals, additional FSI, fungible FSI, TDR, all these things, height permission is taking so much time or has taken so much time that it has become quite difficult to get these permissions. Because of that, the overall productivity in the market is slow, so under construction is not getting sold so quickly. But finished product, all sold.
Right, but there are pockets of consumers who are holding on to that buying decision, assuming that prices will likely go down. What's your outlook on pricing from, let's say, a 2 to 3 year perspective?
I think people should buy today. It's the lowest possible price in the market, and there is a lot of availability of flats which are there. So a choice is available to the customer, and also he is able to negotiate to some extent the conditions and terms and conditions of buying. If a person wants to wait till the boom comes back and pay higher prices and more difficult to deal to get apartments which are their choice, I think they can wait. So I think it would be a smart move on the buyers to actually go into the marketplace and close. Also, the banks and financial institutions have given the lowest possible rate. There's a lot of pressure from the Reserve Bank to keep it low, and this is going to be beneficial. The tax deductibility has increased and improved. So I would suggest buy today and don't wait for the boom, which will make it difficult to buy tomorrow.
Okay, Mr. Hiranandani, the new real estate regulatory bill has many clauses for builders. With the clauses mentioned, does it really mean that break-even prices will inch higher on the back of new regulatory laws? Will the cost of construction increase and margins also squeeze further?
You have hit the nail on the head. The 70% escrowing of the amount is going to create a lot of liquidity problems, especially those companies which are already over-leveraged today. So yes, they are going to find it extremely difficult to carry on the construction. So I don't see this being immediately beneficial to the customer because the cost will increase and they will not be able to bring down the prices at all. So I think it's going to work reverse because if costs go up, ultimately the price must follow. Somebody has to pay for the additional cost to get the buildings completed. So though there will be a commitment of the builders which will be honored in terms of completion, I don't see costs really coming down because of this condition, and banks are going to find it pretty difficult to get back their monies because this escrow account cannot be touched by them.
Right. Mr. Hiranandani, of course, you're one of the marquee players in the Mumbai real estate space. The BMC has recently tabled the draft development plan. Big changes that they've proposed regarding FSI, zoning, as well as open space regulations. What's your reaction to some of those changes proposed? And in terms of expectations from the BMC or the government of the real estate space?
See, the aspiration of all developers and the government is very simple, that there should be enough affordable housing for everybody over there. Remember, more than 55% of the people in Mumbai live in jhopatpattis. Can we get each one of them to get an affordable house? Wouldn't it be really wonderful to get that target? This is what the BMC is working towards, to create more affordable housing into the marketplace. That is the objective for increasing the FSI and using salt pan lands and other things for affordable housing. So I think there's a direction, there's an ambition, there's a target which the government intends to do, hopefully with participation of the private sector as well as the government and the various bodies like SRA, MADA, SIDCO, MMRDA. All these combined hopefully will be able to meet the ambition of the Prime Minister to make affordable housing for all by 2022.
Mr. Hirandani, from your perspective, what is the land bank that you're holding? How much is under construction? And are there any new projects in the pipeline that you can tell us about?
We are very aspirational. We think that there will be a huge demand in the future for further housing. And as the GDP grows, as the capital investments in infrastructure grow, as the Make in India works out, as the Cross Harbour Bridge comes up, Metro comes up, Coastal Road comes up, all these projects, including Navi Mumbai Airport, is going to give a huge boost to the environment in terms of growth. We also think that there will be more employment, there will be more housing. So I think we are growing. We plan to grow at least at a pace of 15 to 20% compounded per annum year on year for the next 5 years. That's the aspirational model, both in terms of commercial and residential.
Before we let you go, a word on demand outlook as well. Where are you seeing higher traction and which areas are seeing slack?
I think the eastern side is really grown. First of all, the East Island Freeway, the Sion Panvel Freeway, the Ro-Ro crossing to Mandwa in terms of being able to take the car straight to Mandwa Jetty from Bhavka Dakka or in South Mumbai. That with the metro and the other connectivity and now being connected by metro rail even to the Navi Mumbai Airport. The eastern side obviously looks more hyped up and positive. So I think the next few years on the eastern side is going to grow much faster than the western side until the other connectivity of the overhead railway line from Churchgate or Bandra to Virar really gets expedited, but that looks a little far away.
All right, Mr. Hiranandani, thank you for coming on to Lunch Money. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you this Friday afternoon. Thanks for that. Still ahead, market technicals, that discussion coming up with Kunal Bothra of LKP Securities. So stay where you are.